Hello, everyone. This is Patrice with the Positivity Corner, and I am back with another series of reaction videos on one of my favorite artists. Welcome to my YouTube channel. If you are new, to my current subscribers, thank you very much, and welcome back. We talked on this channel previously. I think I showcased two guitarists, I believe. The wonderful and underrated Peter Frampton, and I call him the guitar god himself, Mr. Eric Clapton. But this gentleman here, wow, he's really something. I think in the world of jazz and pop, he is very good at both. Yeah, I'm talking about George Benson. Ooh, I'm really gonna enjoy this one. This is another artist. If you've never seen him in person, you're missing out. I last saw him several years ago, and I tell you, his guitar playing, he is in his late 70s now. Wow, he looks great, by the way. His guitar playing has not missed a single step. I first saw him in the 1980s, and I'm telling you, he plays just as good in the late 2020s, whatever, as he played back then. Just excellent guitar work. And I know, people slammed him starting in the 70s for, doing the pop stuff. But you know what? He does it really well. And he was very successful with it. And he has never, ever forgotten where he came from. He is a jazz guitarist first and foremost. He was a child prodigy, born and raised in the Pittsburgh, PA area. He had his first recording when he was 9 years old. He was playing clubs when he was like practically a toddler. By the time he was 21 years old, he was fronting his own band and making records. This is like 1960s, early 1960s. He was making records. By the late 1960s, he was on records with Miles Davis. This guy would, you know how I say on this channel, some people are destined for greatness. Oh, George was. I am going to play hits. I'm going to concentrate primarily on two of his albums that I really like. He is a treasure as far as I'm concerned. I know that there's been, a lot of controversy about jazz starting, I guess, in the 70s when radio stations started the smooth jazz format. I hate that word. I use it, but I've gotten to really dislike it. To me, jazz is jazz. I don't care if it's smooth, rough. You know what I mean? To me, it's jazz. I mean, they say there's straight ahead jazz, blah, blah, blah. And there is jazz fusion. I get it. But, I like all of it. I'm just going to say it. And I think that he, in particular, has been a great ambassador, as it were, for jazz, because a lot of people who ordinarily wouldn't listen to jazz because he had these big pop hits listened to it and liked it and took it all in. That is a wonderful thing. My dad was a big jazz fan, as I had stated on this channel. And starting in high school, I want to say, I started going through his record collection and started listening to jazz. And my father would buy things, like Les Baxter, Stan Kenton. My mother was into big band music, so she liked Tommy Dorsey and Glenn Miller, which is not really jazz, but it has that, well, yeah, it is jazz. It has that element in it, right? I started listening to those kind of records in the early 70s when I got into high school. And I remember when this particular album came out, because I believe my father bought this one. This one came out when I was making that transition from high school and getting ready to go to college. This is 1976. This was his introduction to a lot of people in music. But this is actually his 15th studio album. He had already done 14 albums before then. And he had been established as a guitar virtuoso by the time this album ever came out. It's called Breezin, and it was a landmark album. It established him worldwide as basically a guitar phenom, as it were. And also he did singing on it too, which he hadn't really been doing a lot of. And he's a good singer. He's a good, decent singer. He can sell a song. This particular album was not critically acclaimed. The critics, particularly like the jazz critics, they didn't like it. But you know what they always say, critics be damned. The public sure as heck liked it. And it was a huge, big seller. It was his most successful period, I guess from a commercial standpoint. And this album, it sold so many copies that it topped the pop charts, the jazz charts, and the R&B charts. It had 2 hit singles. I'm going to play 2 from this album. It was just a great album, in my opinion. It was a great album. It's only got 6 songs on it, but at least 2 of them have become kind of standards, and I'm going to play one of them right now. This particular one, it was written by another artist that I recently did actually on this channel, and that is the master of space and time, Mr. Leon Russell. He wrote this song, and it is a masterpiece, I think, by George Benson. It was an acclaimed hit in its time, and it has a gorgeous piano solo. And I just want to reference this gentleman, the late Jorge Dalto, played the piano on this. May he rest in peace. Beautiful, just beautiful work. I'm actually gonna play the whole song. There's many versions of this song. I'm just gonna play the whole thing because I think honestly, it is worth it. Quite honestly, I think it's worth a listen. I think it's just a beautiful song, and I think he sings it. I think honestly he sings it really well. Um, there's been some criticism, I guess, of his singing. I think it's a beautiful song. I think Leon Russell, as I said, I think he's Leon Russell's one of the best songwriters ever. This is George Benson with a classic, and it's called "This Masquerade."
Are we really happy here with this lonely game we play? Looking for words to say, searching but not finding understanding anywhere. Lost in a masquerade, both afraid to say we're just too far away from being close together from the start. Tried to talk it over, but the words got in the way. We're lost inside this lonely game we play. Hearts are weeping, disappear every time I see your eyes. No matter how hard I try to understand the reasons that we carry on this way, we're lost in a masquerade. We're both afraid to say we're just too far away from being close together from the start. We tried to talk it over, but the words got in the way. We're lost inside this lonely game we play. Thoughts sweeping disappear every time I see your face. No matter how hard I try to understand the reasons why we carry on this way. We're lost in a masquerade. Oh, in a masquerade. Yeah.
This is another example of a really good cover song. Leon Russell did the original, I think, in 1972. This was done 4 years later in 1976 by George Benson, and it's an absolute classic. And it won the Grammy Record of the Year. I totally agree. And it's one of the few actual jazz type records that has ever won that particular Grammy Award. Kudos to you, George Benson and Jorge Dalto, for that amazing piano work. Very, very well done. The arrangement of this is just killer. Absolute killer. As always, this is the Positivity Corner with Patrice. Please like, click, share, subscribe for further content, and I will be back with some more from the one and only George Benson.